Today we are going to be looking at addition and subtraction. Let's look at our first question. The first question is 342 plus 63. Now, when we look at this question, we talk about how to attempt this question. For students who really struggle with this question and they're not sure how to do the entire sum, I want you to attempt. When we talk about attempt in our math lessons, we talk about setting up the sum. And what is the first step? So let's set up our sum. The first thing that you need to do is to write the number 342. Now we're doing addition, so we write our plus sum. This reduces errors because we know that it's addition. Our next step is to place the 63. Now, with addition and subtraction of numbers, you need to place them in terms of place value. So we put 3, which is in the ones column, under the 1. We then put our 6s, which is in the tens column, under the tens column here. Now, it is really important that we set this up so that they are based on place value. Now, this is attempt. So if you're not able to do any more than this, this is all that you're required to do. Now, this will gain you 1 mark. Now we go to our next step. We then start on this end. We start on our ones columns and we go up in terms of place value and we add. So we say 2 plus 3 equals 5. 4 plus 6 equals 10, and we carry our 1, and we have 3 plus 1, which is 4. So our answer of 342 plus 63 equals 405. In terms of marking, what we're looking for is if you set this up, you get your 1 mark. If you have carried correctly, that is another mark. And if you've got the correct answer here, here is another mark. So this in total would be a 3-mark question. Let's try a subtraction sum. If we had the question 526 take away 137, I want you to just attempt it. If you look at this question and struggle with it and are concerned of how you do it, I just want you to attempt. So for attempt of this question, we are going to line up just like we did the addition question. We're going to line them up based on place value. So we write down our 526 and always write your subtract. Automatically with maths, we automatically just add numbers. When we see numbers together, we add them. It is really important that you put this subtraction mark here to remind yourself that you're subtracting, and again, it's a strategy to help you reduce errors. We now line up our 137 based on place value. So 7 is in the ones column, 3 is in our tens column, and the 1 is in the hundreds column. Now, if you struggle with these questions, this is your attempt. And many of you, in terms of your goal setting, you talk about wanting to attempt more questions. This is the expectation here. Now, if you want to go to the next step, you now start on the ones end of our numbers and we move across. Okay, now we've got 6 take away 7. So our starting number is actually 6. Now, if you have a look, we can't actually take away 7 because we don't have enough numbers. So another way to remember that we need to borrow is a little rhyme. And I say, more on the floor, go next door, borrow 1 more. So we're going to go next door, we borrow 1, which turns this into 1 because 2 take away 1 is 1, and we borrow this 1 here. So this actually now, because we've borrowed from the tens, is now 16, and we can say now that that's 16 take away 7. So more on the floor, go next door, borrow 1 more. So 16 take away 7 is now your first calculation. Some of you may struggle, some of you may count backwards, but a strategy that reduces errors is to count up. And when we count up, we start with our smallest number, which is 7. So we go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How many is that? That is 9. So our answer is 9. We now go to our next sum. So now we've got 1 take away 3. So 1. Can we take away 3 from that? We can't. So more on the floor, go next door, borrow 1 more. So we've borrowed 1 and this becomes 11. So 11 take away 3. So again, instead of going 11, 10, and that can always kind of end up in errors because you're not sure what you're doing, we count up from our smallest number. So we say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 8. Our answer is 8. Now we're starting with 4 take away 1. 4 take away 1 is 3. And there's our answer. Now, in terms of marking and what we're expecting of students, we give you 1 for setting it up correctly and lining up depending on place value. We are looking for the skill that you know that you need to carry appropriately. So if you can show us that you can carry appropriately over here, that is 1 mark. And if you've got the correct answer, that is another mark. So even if you're not sure how to do this and you see this sum, I want you to attempt by setting it up. And even if you get the wrong answer, you still can show us skills and mathematical skills by showing us that you actually know the process, but for some reason you've got the wrong answer here. So hopefully this has helped you in learning how to add and subtract, but also how to attempt these difficult questions.